Hail our stories.
Somewhere on the internet right now, there might be a video of you saying things you never said to people who love you and believing every word. That's not a hypothetical for me anymore. Let me tell you what happened. It started with a text from my mom. Just one line. Loved catching up tonight, sweetheart. Feel better soon. I hadn't talked to my mom in 11 days. I definitely hadn't caught up with her that night. I was at work until 9, came home, made dinner, went to bed. I remember thinking she probably meant to send it to one of my siblings. I texted back, love you too, but I think you meant this for someone else. Haven't talked tonight. She called me almost immediately, confused. She said we'd had a video call an hour earlier. She said I looked tired, told her I'd caught a cold, and we talked for almost 20 minutes about my cousin's wedding. She remembered specific things. Details I would have said. My voice, she said. My face. My apartment in the background, the same bookshelf I actually have. I told her that never happened. She got quiet, and then she got scared, in the particular way a parent gets scared when something doesn't make sense about their kid. I didn't think about it as anything sinister at first. I thought maybe she dreamed it, or mixed up days, though that wasn't like her. It wasn't until 2 days later that my brother mentioned something similar, a call he thought we'd had, where I'd asked him for money to cover a car repair, and he'd sent $300 to an account I didn't recognize. That's when I understood this wasn't confusion. Someone, somewhere, had my face and my voice, and they were using both to talk to the people who trusted me most. I spent that night going through everything I could find. It turns out I have more video of myself online than I ever thought about. Old birthday clips my friends posted, a work conference talk from 2 years ago, dozens of voice memos I'd sent in group chats over the years. Enough footage, enough audio, for something to learn exactly how I move my mouth when I talk, exactly how my voice rises at the end of a sentence when I'm being sincere. I called my mom back and asked her to send me anything from the call. She'd taken a screenshot, almost out of habit, a single blurry frame. It was me. Not almost me, sitting in what looked exactly like my apartment, wearing a shirt I actually own, mid-sentence, my hand raised the way I always raise it when I'm trying to make a point. I stared at that photo longer than I want to admit. There was one thing wrong with it, one thing that took me a full minute to notice. In the photo, on the shelf behind me, there was a book I've never owned, sitting exactly where a book of mine should be. A small detail. A seam in the fabric of it. Everything else was right. I reported it everywhere I could think to report it. I posted warnings to my family group chat, told everyone, if I call and ask for money, if I say anything that feels slightly off, hang up and call me on a different number to confirm. Most of them took it seriously. A few laughed, said I was being paranoid, said deepfakes were something that happened to celebrities and politicians, not regular people like us. For days after that, my aunt got a video call. Not audio, video, my actual face, moving and talking in real time, or so real time that she couldn't tell the difference. She said I'd apologized for missing her birthday, said I sounded a little sad, made a joke about my sister that only I would know how to make, and then, gently, casually, asked if she could help me out with something urgent, a wire transfer, nothing dramatic, just tight on cash this month. She almost did it. She told me afterward that the only reason she paused was because I glanced away from the camera for half a second in a way that felt slightly wrong, like whatever was looking back at her had checked something off screen before continuing the sentence. She hung up and called my actual number instead. I was standing in a grocery store parking lot when she called, completely unaware any of this was happening in real time. I want you to understand what it does to you, knowing there's a copy of your voice out there, moving through your family's lives, saying things you would say, in a way that's convincing enough to almost work on people who've known you your entire life. It's not just a stolen photo. It's a stolen version of how you love people. It knows your rhythms. It knows which of your family members you tease, and how, and it's using that intimacy as a weapon against them. I started limiting how much video and audio of myself exists anywhere online, but that ship had mostly already sailed. You don't realize how much footage of yourself is out there until you're trying to make it disappear. The calls slowed down after a few weeks, either because my family got better at catching it or because whoever was doing this moved on to someone else's face, someone else's voice, some other unlucky person's family group chat. I don't know which. I never found out who was behind it. I don't think I ever will. But about a month after it all started, my mom called me late one night, her real voice, sounding steady and calm in a way that somehow scared me more than if she'd been upset. She said, "I need to ask you something, and I need you to answer honestly. When we talked last week about the wedding, was that really you?" I told her yes. It was. We had talked about the wedding last week. A real call, an ordinary Tuesday night conversation. There was a long pause on the line. "Are you sure?" she said. "Because I don't remember calling you." "I remember you calling me." I sat with that for a long time after we hung up. I've gone back through my call log more times than I want to admit, checking timestamps, checking durations, trying to reassure myself that the call I remember is the one that actually happened. Most nights, I believe it was really me. Some nights, I'm not sure anymore which version of that conversation belongs to which one of us,